Don Polk's probably going to be mad at me. I snuck up to Roseburg and got Ed Stratton's Dozer going for him. And I still got to go back over to Roseburg and get Don's 8430 done. But Ed got called out on the fire. And so he had a kid, which I'm not running the kid down. You got to give the kid some credit. He tried, you know. He's a young kid. I think he's only 19, 20 years old. And he just didn't know. But Ed, that 1650K case that I went and worked on in the video in the middle of the night, well, he got called on that fire over there on 138. And I've been putting him off for quite some time, just like I have a lot of guys that I've been putting off. And finally it came down to it. He had to get this other guy to do it. Well, this kid came out and did it for him. And the reason he didn't call Case to come do it because he's had some really bad experiences with him and he doesn't want to go down that road again. So anyway, this kid came out and pulled the injection pump out of it. And keep in mind, this is a Case 1650K with a Tier 2 12 valve Cummins in it. So he pulls the injection pump out because the gasket where it mounts to the front timing cover is leaking like a sieve. So he puts a new gasket on, puts it back together, and can't even get it to crank to start. Well, they messed with it, couldn't get anything to happen. So finally, you know, it came down to the crunch time. Huh. Well, I'll tell you what, you sure see some interesting shit out here anymore. There's a guy living up there on the border. He's camped out. He just decided to pull right there at the border on Highway 97. And he just pulled up under a sage tree and he's got an old piece of shit yellow van and he's just living out there in the brush. He's been living there for 3 or 4 weeks now. As times get harder, you're going to start seeing a lot more of this stuff. The times are coming. It's coming, guys. I'm telling you. Anyway, so I drove down there, and that thing has 2 or 3 different relays. There's an operator safety relay, a start safety relay, and a starter relay. Well, the start safety relay was not latching, and it runs off the seat switch. So I told him to go in there and get a 24 volt start relay from Napa, 20 amp relay. So we put that in there so that, see, it wouldn't even crank. So it was kind of a coincidence with the kid. It wouldn't even crank to start. So we went and got a relay, put it in there. Then we got it cranking, but man, it smoked white smoke like crazy. Wouldn't hardly run. Fuel shut off solenoid wire. We had to fix it. It was ripped off there. We couldn't get anything to happen at first. We seen the wire laying down at the bottom of the frame rail. And anyway, I had to pull that. Those Tier 2 pumps have a keyway in the gear, but no keyway in the shaft. So it's an emission thing. It's a Tier 2 engine. So that the pump timing can vary on those. So the only way to do it right is have the pump sent off to a pump shop and they static time it and they lock the pump in time, and you put the pump, you run the engine over to number 1 and top dead center and you put the pump back in there locked in time from the pump shop. Or you can do what I did. You can break the gear loose, leave the pump in there, and just keep breaking the gear loose and either retard or advance the crank timing to pump timing till you get it right, till you get it to where it'll run right. Well, that's what I did. I broke the gear loose 6 or 7 times, and I finally figured out which way I was going, you know, which way was making it worse, which way was making it better. And I finally got it to where it would start right up real easy, and it would not smoke when you gave it throttle, and it ran good. So then I came back to a nursery the next morning, and I went over there to do a tilt column on the 8320T. Next thing you know, I'm there for 8 hours, fixing everything on the ranch. I went from the 8320T to the 8420T, that the cable come off the heater control valve for some reason. So I put it back on there. The heater was always on. That's why the air conditioner wouldn't work. And then I went to a 8300T that the air conditioner there, and they kept popping the fuses for the AC system. Well, the blower motor back there in where the evaporator core was, the bearings went out on the motor, and the squirrel cage actually broke in half because it got up against the housing. The bearings were so bad, and it broke the squirrel cage. So if you guys have pulled blower motors out of an 8000 series John Deere, an older one like that, you know you got to pull all the controllers off the back and that whole cover off the back to get to the AC module. So I changed that, and while I was there, the Wilmar spray rig that I put, you know, I did the hydraulics on, well, the air conditioner wasn't working in that, the blower motors wouldn't kick on in it either, and then the product pump was only putting out like 30 psi, so it's put out 100 psi. So, found that the circuit breaker in the cab that runs the blower motors was kicking out. We had to put a 20 amp circuit breaker in there to fix that. And then the product pump, it's got a Deutsch 2-prong connector where the coils are. What I did to diagnose that is I had to bypass the valve block where the coils are that turns the product pump on and off because it's hydraulic, it has a hydraulic motor. I found where the inlet came into it from the pump, and I just put a DIC union in there and pulled the two lines off and hooked them together, and then the pump went full speed, or the motor went full speed and turned the product pump on. And so then I unplugged it to look at the wiring to it, and one side of that Deutsch connector inside the plug was melted. So I put a new Deutsch connector on it, plugged it back in, that took care of that. It was just, I'm just kind of giving you a rundown of why I haven't made videos. It's just, I don't have time to even do it right now. It's just crazy. And I've got everybody is on my ass about their stuff. Frank down there, yeah, the fuel truck, it's still sitting there in my shop, you know. I feel bad about it. I mean, golly, we waited forever on that fuse panel, and I knew that was going to happen. We're going to wait on something, and it's going to put me right into haying season where we're getting really busy, and then we're not going to have time to work on it. And that's exactly what happened. So I'm going to try to start spending an hour or two a day just going home a little earlier and working on that, I guess, and try to get the damn thing done. But we're going to go out here to the 7520. Oh, somebody lost some hay on the road there. 7520 and put the shift cable back in it that broke. This tractor, for a long time, this is a 7520 that I rebuilt the engine in. These guys here are good people. These guys here, when you do a job, they pay their bills. But this 7520, when it, for some reason, it's got something going on in the transmission. C and D range and the range transmission is really sticky, and it doesn't like to go in gear when the engine's when it's cold, when the oil's cold. So once it warms up, it's fine after that. But when it's cold, it don't like to go in. But they broke A and B cable. Okay, so looks like I got the right cable here. Looks like everything's matching up. As you can see here, she broken, you broken it. Alright, let's go. This is not very fun, guys. Let's put it that way. So, which end goes down? So the black end, that end there is one going down. Let me see if I can actually adjust this. Let's mess around there forever. Make sure the clevis is loose. It's pretty much the same distance out. It looks to be pretty close, maybe a little bit more in. Yeah, that looks pretty good there. Tighten that up so we don't have to do it when we get in there. Alright. Look at this one. This one's clear bottomed out. Okay. It's about flush is what it is. That one's flush. And I can always adjust that one when I get it in there too. You know, it's kind of funny. I had a guy, worked for him when I was a younger guy, before I even started mechanic, but I was driving a bell wagon for him, and he was one of those guys that never would pay you on time. I mean, even as an employer, and always had excuses of why he couldn't pay his bill and blah blah blah, you know. And well, I remember he owed me a bunch of money one time, and I must have been, it was before I went in the Navy. I was 18, 19 years old. Well, he bought he just got done told me and this other guy that he couldn't pay us, you know, and he owed us like $5,000 or $6,000. I mean, we were living off top ramen. We didn't have any money, just kids, you know, and he was stringing us along, lying to us. And well, we drove by his house here one day and we seen two brand new Polaris Indy 650 snowmobiles sitting there after he just got done telling us he couldn't pay it. So this was years ago, mind you. Now you'd probably go to jail for it, but me and my buddy, we snuck in there in the middle of the night and we hooked up to the trailer with them snowmobiles on it and we took off. And the guy called us the next day. "You got my snowmobiles?" And I said, "You got my fucking money?" And all of a sudden he paid his bill. Kind of amazing, huh? Alright, so I got it on up top here. Now I screwed up the black end of that thing goes up. Now this end here is not so much fun. This end is not so much fun. Let's see here. Let me get this set over here somewhere. I'll get a smudge on that. Okay, so alright. I'm gonna do this. Trying to remember which one it was hooked into. There's two holes in this lever. I don't remember. I gotta get a mirror to get it in the slot down here, because I can't see it. I don't think. Oh, you can't see it. Ain't no fun. I don't know if I'm in there or not. Cannot tell. Let me go get a mirror and light. Now I'm started in there. I can get her to go the rest of the way back. That's what I'm having trouble making it do. Not the easiest thing in the world. Still don't know how I'm going to get that clip in there. I haven't figured that out yet. There we go. Now if I pull up on it just a little bit, I see the slot. It's got a little keeper that goes on there. It should go on right there. So I gotta get that keeper and somehow, where's my finger? I'm trying to find my finger in relation to where, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. Yeah, this is gonna be a challenge here. Alright, so I went up there and put it in A range so it would put tension on the cable and pull it back towards there, so that notch should be on the other side of the bracket. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this or not. Oh, come on, baby. Oh, I got it. I got it. I got you, you dirty bastard. Okay. Let's go see if we got any gears now. We don't know on this deal whether they damaged a fork or broke something, because they were, you know, it's like the manager said. He goes, they got it stuck in one gear and got to ramming and jamming and beating on it and broke the cable. He says, who knows what else is screwed up? You just don't know till you get there, till you get a cable that's actually not broken half. I got the C&D range unhooked right now too. I gotta put the pin back in that, but let's see if we got anything A and B wise. Whew. She's a warm one, about 100 degrees already, I think. It goes right in. Why? How did he break that? Maybe the cable was fatigued or something. I don't know. It just goes in so nice and easy. Maybe the cable's hanging up and it broke. I don't know. This is the one I rebuilt the engine in last winter. Huh. It's not looking good. She's not moving. Not looking very good. I can feel that going in, but it's not looking good. It appears that they broke something else in there. Nothing. Alright, so I got it in A range. Just go make sure that our cable, our clip stayed on, maybe our cable. I can feel it though. Okay. Yeah, it's not looking too good. Looking like we might have some internal damage. Everything stay hooked up on this end of things. Yes, that lever is moving. I I guess I need to get my mirror and make sure that that clip stayed where it was supposed to, and that it's not, I'm pretty certain it's, I got a feeling he jammed on her so hard he not only broke the cable, that he probably broke a fork or something else in it too. Get the C&D range lever hooked back up. Let me go get my mirror. Well, the C&D range pin back in the lever and verified the A and B's moving. They probably broke a fork in there. Broke a fork or busted a roll pin that runs it or something. Jamming and ramming and jamming on it. Tearing shit up. Well, we'll see if we can get it to go into either C or D range. What the hell's going on here? Why do we have no movement? Something going on with the power quad in it or something? What the hell did they break? That gas cylinder is really annoying. So what is going on here, and why don't she want to move? I got all the gears now. What do we got going on here? I went to the BCU controller and I cleared them and they came right back. So I know one of them is going to be mechanical front wheel drive. I kept throwing that code. Let's see if it does anything now. Alright, not doing anything. Not even trying. BC, I don't know what it's throwing there. Well, it had two codes in there before, right? So the 302, 131. 30280. Still the same two codes in there. One of them's gonna be come home mode. Let me turn that come home relay back around where it goes. So I'll clear them again. Yeah, I can clear them with the rocker switch. Done. Alright, so let's see what comes back. Okay, so we got a 302086. That one's coming right back. Well, those two keep coming back in that controller. So let's go to the EPC controller. me hold it to get out of it. That controller, let's go back to the EPC controller, select it. So there's one there, there's a 306039. Let's clear them and see if they come right back. Okay. Come on. Why are you... all of a sudden it's not letting me select the controller? It's weird. That's really strange. What the hell's going on? Let's hold it for diagnostic mode. Mechanical front wheel drive, that's the 302086. Okay. So I want to go to the EPC, and I want to select address 1. There's no codes, those stayed cleared. I've been messing with it and I finally got it to throw a code saying proportional solenoid enable valve open circuit, and I might have to get in there and double check, but let me put this here. Supposed to be 6 to 9 ohms of resistance. I might just check them both. Okay, there's the wiring. I wonder if it just bad connection here. I mean, the wires were kinked over pretty good there. Trying to see where in the hell are they going. Maybe I'll just... I really can't see where the wires are going up in there without pulling that filter and all that shit out of there. Yeah, if that proportional solenoid valve is not working, it won't do nothing. Let's just see if it'll move again now that I've been playing with the wires. She's gonna move now. Turn the air conditioner on, it's hotter than hell. I don't know. I think we just had a bad connection. I'm gonna take... I mean, I don't see the wires broken to there unless the wire's broken the insulation somewhere. I'm gonna take that and unplug it again and take the terminals and collapse them with a pick and make them tighter. I've seen that 100 times. Them wires, the terminals just get spread to where they won't make contact. And then with the hot and the cold, they'll expand and contract, and if they expand or whatever in this heat like that, they won't, you know, they won't make contact. And then we'll go drive it around and make sure it doesn't do it again. Alright, let's now that I put all the panels and all this stuff on, now the damn thing probably don't want to work. Alright, so how come the loader's not working? Oh, I got it locked out. Got the button pushed. Alright, makes a hell of a difference, huh? This old tractor, she got a new engine in her, but she needs some more help. Alright. So we need to adjust this sucker a little bit, get this where it lines up better with, so you go straight across and get it in there. That's bullshit there. Get the cable. Something's got to change here a little bit. This needs to come back like that. Then it goes straight in there now. Something's just a little bit out there. Now I can go into C range. Transmission oil filter restricted. I think I'll tell him they better change the transmission oil filter. Let's go to A range. We got her working. Yeah, transmission oil filter needs to be changed in it. I'll have to be a smart ass. This is another engine that I rebuilt. It's been running ever since I got done with it. It gets run every day. I didn't have to come out and do it 3 times. This kind of seems that's the way of the world now. And everybody says quit your whining and quit your bitching. Well, I'll tell you what, I've got kind of a valid reason to bitch, because I'll tell you what, looking at the condition of the way things are, there's pretty much a valid concern to bitch, because it's totally screwed up. It really is. You ever seen that George Carlin? And he was talking about people wanting to save the environment and save this and save that and all that good shit. See, I got to get this thing to where it centers right. I wonder if I ought to put it on. You see, there's a spring on this cable. That's for the park lock. I wonder if I ought to loosen the cable up or tighten it. I don't know. The jam nut on there. I don't know. So if I pull this pin out, see, it centers itself. That means the cable is way out of whack. So we got to adjust that cable to where it's right there, because that's what we got to adjust the cable to there. This needs to be lengthened out some more if it'll go that much further.